Hey everybody, ChrilK here, welcome back to a new episode of Let's Play Quantum Break. In the last episode we have defeated here Liam Burke, and we read a whole bunch of texts again, like this one here. And now special weapons, but we cannot take them. This would be here a cool weapon. I'm not sure if these weapons are really not on purpose here, because now we have to proceed for the countermeasure device.
Fiona, I'm at the CFR chamber. Door's locked.
That's way above my access level. But since my friend disabled security earlier, I should be able to do this. Listen, I don't really know what the plan is, but it's all up to you now. Good luck.
It was always up to us.
It was like walking into a shrine. This was their holy relic.
What is this here?
There'd been some kind of struggle in the chamber. I didn't know the details. Somebody cleaned it up.
A man named Charlie Wincott. I believe he chose to take a stand. Unfortunately, it ended badly for him.
Mm-hmm. Well, it seems to be that kind of work environment.
Yes, this kind of work environment is not so healthy for the employees. Okay, personal notes on the CFR by Dr. Henry Kim, January the 5th, 2011. This thing feels like a conundrum wrapped in a puzzle. It's an incredible piece of technology, and I feel like we are on scratching the surface of what it can do, and we have already learned so much. I thought I had a good understanding of the intricacies of chronal particles and their practical applications before. Now I realize that I've still got a great deal to learn. The chronon field regulator, as I've decided to call it, is a little miracle. How such a small device can do so much is beyond me. I know it taps into the Meyer choice field, but I don't know how. My experiments just show it can do it. It can also manipulate the field. I wish I knew how. Still, the mechanics of its operation give me ideas. New avenues of thought I've been trying to find for such a long time. The task that I've been set by Mr. Serene has frankly stumped me for years, knowing that what we observe as the passage of time is just a result of chronal particles being constantly generated within the Meyer choice field. This is a simple fact that I've been aware of for a long time, but being able to manipulate those particles in a meaningful way, well, that's another question. The mechanics of the situation are clear, almost frustratingly so. In a zero-state environment, there are no chronon particles, and thus time is frozen. The idea of artificially flooding an area with chronon particles to enable the passage of time is the obvious solution. But actually finding a way of doing that's something else. Not only are chronon particles incredibly difficult to source, so obtaining enough to actually stutter-proof an area for any time longer than a fraction of a second has always seemed impossible. Perhaps even more importantly, the mechanism of manipulating the particle in a way that would actually allow me to define a certain volume of space as stutter-proofed has constantly eluded me. Well, Ground Zero has solved the former problem for us. We are almost up and running, and very soon we will have the ability to harvest chronon particles at useful rates. We'll be able to build a truly formidable stockpile of them in the years to come. As for the latter problem, manipulating the chronon particles, that seems to be something the CFR does with ease. Its ability to tap into the Maya choice field and effect changes in its topology is exactly what I need. Unfortunately, I don't know how it does it. I don't have a clue, and I don't know how to effectively control these effects. But my research into the practical effects of its operation has given me ideas for a different kind of chronon technology that works on a somewhat similar principle. Except, instead of tapping into the Maya choice field, it generates a similar localized field of its own, an artificial chronon particle field, and within that field we can manipulate chronon particles at will. This means we should be able to create stutter-proofing technology, allowing us to shield a certain area from the effects of zero state, and I believe I will be able to miniaturize the technology to allow for personalized devices with the same effect, almost like an environmental suit of sorts with a harness the user would wear to create a chronon field around his body. There are still many challenges here, and one of which is that any significant volume of stutter-proofed space will incur an unacceptably high drain of chronon particles, which are decidedly limited resource. Obviously, with the lifeboat protocol requiring a large stutter-proofed area that we can maintain for years, quite possibly decades, this is a critical issue we have to solve, and Mr. Serene has made that quite clear to me. Frankly, even with Mr. Hatch backing me, the thought of disappointing Serene over this makes me quite anxious. I understand his concerns, and they are of course entirely founded, but the man's intensity is unnerving. In any case, I am hopeful that I will figure out this problem soon. I'm hoping to be able to use the CFR itself to regulate the flow of chronon particles. Given its nature, I suspect it might be eminently suitable for such a role in the lifeboat project and cut down our chronon consumption rate by a great margin. My control over the CFR is limited, but this seems to be a very basic functionality for it, so I'm optimistic that I can do it. I'm still looking into it, one thing at a time. We've already made great progress, and I will say that Mr. Serene's been quite complimentary with these successes. So I think he'll give us the time we need. Well, it's not like he has a lot of choice in the matter. I'll be honest, the CFR is becoming a bit of an obsession for me. I wish I could sit down and have that conversation and just ask those questions. How did he build it? What it's actually for? But I've been denied that opportunity. A part of me wants to open the CFR up and get to the bottom of it, but the potential consequences terrify me. We've already seen what it can do if unleashed. Even worse, there's the possibility that I couldn't put it back together, and just the idea of making a mistake like that is a positively liquefying thought. Positively bowel liquefying thought. Having to explain that to Mr. Serene, no, thank you. So as it is, I have only dared to open up a bit of the casing to get a rough idea of some of the engineering inside. It's amazing work, and it has certainly been a lesson in humility for me. I still have a lot to learn, but I'm a very fast learner, and this has to be the most important work anyone has ever engaged in the history of humanity. If we succeed in our mission, the world will not soon forget the name of Dr. Henry Kim. Yeah. And now he's also lost. So, here's something else. Charlie's badge. So, anything else here? Only the badge. Ah, we might enter here later. Let's first get in there. Don't touch it. We will touch it. Come on. Secure the countermeasure. Take
It took 11 years for Will to build the countermeasure. Beth died for it. And I knew it could fix the fracture.
This fucking thing.
Problem was, I didn't have a clue how to use it. The only person who did was dead. But Monarch had a way of getting to him before that ever happened.
The university time machine. They've got the core here.
Monarch had built their own time machine above the CFR chamber. That's where I needed to go.
You still believed you could go back and save your brother?
Yes.
Okay. Let's get there. A little bit strange that the elevators are still working while everything else is stuck in time.
Paul took the core of the time machine from the university, hooked it up to his own machine. It was part of his sick desire for control, but that gave me one last shot at fixing things. I could go back, maybe get to Will before Paul killed him. And if I could get the countermeasure in Will's hands, maybe I could still turn everything around.
Okay, the stutter is over. Here are weapons. Explosive materials, so this might end up in a little fight. This looks like an arena. I won't go down there yet.
Core was set, the machine was prepped. I had to put the corridor in place.
First want to walk around it, just to check out the location. Okay, we should reload. So this here is the entrance of the time machine. Core's up there. Let's grab this here. And let's grab this here. Here we can reload. Then I take back the previous gun. This here, I like this here better. But we have to reload. And reload. Okay, let's get down there. Let's activate the time machine. Let's do it.
Okay, this should do it.
Deploying the corridor. Phase 1 underway. Please clear all personnel from
Whoa. Okay, that was clear. Of course. Guys incoming down there.
Assaulting joy.
Oh fuck.
all systems are go.
Finally.
It's Joyce. Hold it back.
You serious?
It's fine, let's go.
Move in on his last position.
Whoa.
Enemy spotted. I got a visual. Swapping mag.
I need to take out the snipers.
Have contact. Over.
Copy. Neutralize the target.
Making the shot.
Okay, up there. First take some cover.
Get behind him. boss.
Oh man. Okay, one is down. Now the sniper over there. Did not work. Ah, here. Okay. One sniper gun. The last one.
Oh, you're welcome, you very slow machine lady.
The
Yes.
machine was ready. I just needed to put in the date.
Okay, let's put in the date.
The earliest I could go back to was the time that the core was first activated. At the university.
Not much time to rescue your brother.
I didn't have a choice.
You better be as advertised.
Okay, let's get in there. So guys, and this is the perfect moment for a break. Thanks a lot for watching and see you tomorrow in the next episode of Let's Play Quantum Break. Have a good time. Bye bye, see you tomorrow.